Okay, here we go. We live in 5, 4. Add a title. Intro running.
That's legendary. That's legendary.
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary. That's legendary.
Yo, what's good, Josh? Your boy Dash Resource, aka Peanut, man. Out here with my man Stacking Smith.
What's good?
And we here with another legend, bro. I swear to God, look, bro. I know I always say that we got a legend here that's hired another legend, but come on, my man. We about to give it up for my man, Derrick Big Shepard, man. How you?
What's going on? What's going on?
How you? Strong, boy. Tomorrow already, man. Nah, but here at the Legendary People Podcast, we like to start off by honoring our legends by finding out your origins, man. So, like, where'd you grow up at?
I grew up here in Dayton, over there by, Johnville Park, over there over Denlinger, in the Free Park area. Nice neighborhood, decent, Born and raised, but it's all good.
Okay, so, like, what was it like growing up over there?
It was cool, a lot of kids, of course, back in our day. Peaceful neighborhood, everybody got along. Back then, everybody got along from every parts of the area. I grew up with some good guys, great guys. Some that Smed, rest in peace, Dante, Ralph, Watson, the Edward boys, Chris, Jay, and Jeff. That neighborhood was full of people that we still are really connected to this day.
Yeah.
So it was a nice neighborhood. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's super dope, man. So, like, what kind of activities did like y'all do like around that time? Like, like younger years, like elementary age.
What we did a lot was we played basketball at Johnville Park.
Johnville Park, yeah.
That was like one of the meetup spots for that area, that part of Dayton, per se. Of course, back in the day, like Kerry said a week or two ago, we played, football in the street, tackle in the grass. You played Winnipeg, a little baseball in the street, curveball, stuff that these kids today have no idea.
I just busted my son's ass in curveball this 2 days ago. I had to show him I still got it, bro. You feel me? I had the last one over the back of my head. Jane, he watched it. But anyway, so like y'all did have like a normal childhood growing up. So like you had your mom and your dad there as well?
Yeah, I had both parents, very, very good household. My parents was the parents that all my friends fell in love with.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? They excuse my language, they was allowed to whoop your ass if you got in trouble, But everybody loved James and Arthur Shepard, though.
Right. So, were you the only child? Or you have?
No, I got an older sister and an older brother.
Okay, so you middle child.
I'm the baby. I'm
the baby.
I'm the mailman's baby. You know what I'm saying? That's how we call it. It's a big gap between my brother is the middle child, and me and him is 11 years apart.
Oh wow!
So. He always teased me to this day saying I was the oops baby. So, but it's, what I'm saying, it's all good. I'm the baby, but I'm the biggest.
Right.
So it was a nice household growing up.
So what was it like having like a brother that was that much older than you? I mean, did he kind of like set you up good, or was he kind of like picking on you a lot?
Both of them picked on me a lot, but that's what you're supposed to do to the younger sibling. What I'm saying? They took me under their wing. He wrestled. So he wrestled that medal down, and what he used to do, he used to practice on me. So, and my sister, she was a basketball standout, track standout. So, she took me around with her, and all her friends fell in love with the little brother, stuff like that. But, it was nice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids these days don't have it like that, but even though days and times change a lot, so, all you can do is tell them the stories.
Right, right.
So,
So where'd you go to elementary school at?
I went to Belhaven.
Bellhaven.
Sweet Belhaven.
Sweet Bellhaven.
And then I went to Fairview.
Fairview to View.
And then went to Meadowdale.
So another Meadowdale legend alumni here. You know?
Yeah.
Man, it's something in
Meadowdale
the
gang
water.
in here, man. It's Meadowdale gang, bro. Everybody went to Meadowdale.
Everybody went there. You know, no disrespect to any other high school because we all got along back then. You know, just because you went to Dunbar or Patterson or Colonel White, you know, Belmont, we all got along.
Right. So, but let's go back to elementary school. So, are you playing sports in elementary school?
No.
Okay.
I didn't play sports till I got to Fairview.
What were some of your interests back then?
Nothing.
Nothing at
Just
all?
hanging out in the neighborhood.
There we go.
You know, I was blessed to have neighbors across the street that had basketball rims. And for the people that grew up in the neighborhood, we used to always play basketball at this one house called the Big Backboard. The reason it was a big backboard, because the backboard was just a piece of wood that was probably about the size of the sign.
Yeah.
Am I lying? You know what I'm saying? And that's where we played. They didn't care how late we was there, as long as we didn't leave no trash. That's where we played. Or we went next door to the Cunningham's house and played. You know, they had a bigger driveway, but we played at either one of them houses. It all
That
depended.
ain't at Stout's house, though, is it? No, okay.
Nah. No.
So then you go into middle school. So at Fairview, do you finally start to take basketball a little bit serious, a little bit, or football?
Well,
like
I mean, I played. You know, when we was coming up, if you was a big kid, everybody forced you to play.
Yeah.
Because your crew you hung around with. The crew I was with, you know.
Give us some love and some light. You can say that.
I mean, they know who they are. It's too many. It's too many to name. You know what I'm saying? But we always played football at the churchyard. At I forget the name of the church, but it's right there on Free Pike and Broom Bar.
Yeah.
We used to play at the churchyard. So I used to go out there and, like I said, rest in peace, our homeboy Dante, no lie, would be the one that was cheating. Now, when I say cheating, he would wear pads underneath his sweatpants. But he was like the rawest one out there. You can ask anybody. He had the heart of a lion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to be like, man, y'all crazy. Y'all here with no pads on. But now I look back on it, I wish I would. I never played. I will always go watch.
Right.
And, oh, man, you scared to play? Nah, y'all just crazy. You know, on TV, they wearing pads. Y'all here hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, F that, bro. And then when I started playing, I really didn't want to play with them because I'm like, I don't have no helmet.
Right.
So I thought I ain't gonna say I thought I was better than them, but I was like, I'm smarter than y'all. I'm not playing.
Right.
So, but, I mean, everybody used to come to the churchyard and play football. I don't care what neighborhood you was in. Sundays, noon, or 2 o'clock at the church, we was there playing football.
Right.
Or Saturday mornings.
Shep, I know we still in elementary school right now, right? But when I met you, we was in the 7th grade.
Legendary handshake.
All right. And you was always, I think you probably was the biggest 7th
biggest.
grader, most likely, right?
Yeah.
Around in there.
Yeah.
So even though that you was the biggest kid out there on the field, was you the biggest kid or was there older kids out there playing?
It was a couple older, but, I mean, as far as size-wise, I was probably one of the biggest.
And you still had good enough sense to say, look, man, give me some pads.
Hey,
I ain't
I'm not
playing.
doing that. These cats was out there hitting, bro. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Y'all just putting your head in there.
Oh, Ralph be out there hitting.
Ralph and Tay was like the smallest cats, but they was the hardest hitters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not, no. And y'all want to throw me the ball? No. Y'all not taking my legs out. I'm not doing that, bro. But it was cool, though. It was nice.
So, are you following the trend of your friends are in elementary school? Did they migrate to Fairview? You went with them, or was it kind of like a mom decision?
Well, back then, you had to go to the school that you lived in that area.
Yeah.
So Fairview was my middle school.
Okay.
You know, unlike now, well, you still got to do it now, but you got all these charter schools too.
Right.
So it was just everybody within that, you know, circumference had to go to Fairview.
Okay.
You know, and then across the street, people went to Fairport. You know what I'm
What?
saying? So it was, what was it like, Arlene was like a
Yeah.
cutoff somewhere
Like that
around
one
there.
street right
yeah,
there.
like one part of Arlene was Fairport. The other part was Fairview.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Fairview was up on Philadelphia right there. So it was a cutoff point.
Right.
But even then, we were still cool with everybody who went to Fairport. Kaiser, McFarland.
Yeah.
You know, we were still cool with everybody, but you just had to go to the school where you grew up, you know, the neighborhood you grew up in.
Right. So, walk me through your first time in middle school. I mean, because like there is a jump between elementary school to middle school. I mean, like was there like a like a growing up period there for you, or was it?
Nah, not really. Because I mean, like I said, back then everybody got along, so it was just like, shit, we just going to another school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We older now. We teenagers. That's all that was. It wasn't no kind of fear or none of that, because you still had your homeboys that you grew up with.
Right.
And in my neighborhood, like I said, we was very close. Everybody I grew up with, they was either my age or a year younger or a year older.
Yeah.
Like with Dante, Ralph, and Watson, they was just a year older. So when I got to Fairview, they was in 8th grade, it was still like home.
Already there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was like home, and that's why we all stayed close. Even though I was at Bellhaven, they was in the 7th grade, I still would see them cats at 3:30 when we all got out of school. So
Right.
it wasn't like, what I'm saying, they went to a border school or something. You know what I mean? So it was just an easy transaction.
Right. So during this time, is this like early 80s getting into the 90s or
Late 80s.
late 80s?
Yeah.
So
88, 87.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a brick wall we always got to run into, which is the crack era. I mean, like, did you notice anything change?
No.
Really? Okay.
I mean, because the days back then, you knew it was out there, but it wasn't publicized per se. We knew a gang was out there back then. The Dogs. I mean, that's all we knew. That's all I knew.
Right.
But it wasn't like people just got beat up or stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't as bad as what it is now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Shep,
it
did
was just-
anybody ever approach you, bro, to try to get you to start selling crack, bro?
Nah,
No.
he ain't never changed, bro. He would act something like that.
I'm just saying,
Nah.
though, because Shep's personality, bro, is humble,
Humble, man.
good, bro, solid.
Yep.
The reason probably why Shep never had to worry about fighting and shit like that, because ain't nobody about to try to fight Big Shep, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, of course, some people probably get tried more than others, but Shep, number one, like I said, humble, good, bro. He ain't the type of person to get into a bunch of mess, right? But it is interesting to see if anybody ever tried to rope him into that, because even Michael Wright said that people was coming at him where they try to get him to sell crack, or even sometimes it ain't necessarily that, but a fiend might come to you and be like, "You got something?"
Right.
Shep,
Like-
somebody might have pulled up
I
on you
feel
like that, though.
It-
You know
I
what I'm
wasn't
saying?
really exposed to stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Just because, my upbringing.
yeah,
I was scared of my mom and pops. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was one of them kids that you had to be home before the street light came on.
Yeah.
And there wasn't no jumping in your front yard and you hear it turning on. It was I had to be in the house. Right. And it's
Did you get in trouble? I mean, like,
I was spoiled, but I was spoiled. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
so
I didn't push the envelope.
did you know by experience? Because our parents, man, we would get whoopings.
Oh yeah,
when we
I
was
would get.
kids, you know what I'm
I would
saying?
get whooped if I didn't wash the dishes.
Right.
So to this
right,
day,
so
I'm
you-
like OCD'd about dishes.
Right.
You can ask my wife. I'm sitting here like, man, there's a cup in there.
Yeah.
I hate
So
it.
you did get in trouble where you had
Oh.
corporal punishment.
Oh man, my dad woke me up with a belt out of my sleep.
What?
I wish my mama was.
What?
That's something that my mom would always
walk
tell me.
walk. P?
Hey, walk us through this story, bro. We're not gonna let you run from that one, right? So walk us through Dad waking you up because.
I didn't wash the dishes.
Okay. So were you playing sports at this time? Because
Yeah.
like you kind of okay.
I mean, my dad didn't care. My dad, like I said, my dad was the coolest cat out there.
Right.
God rest his soul. He was the coolest cat.
Man, shout out to Pops,
But
man.
he demanded respect.
Yeah.
You do your chores. I mean, this is what he said. You stay out of trouble, you get good grades, you play sports, you get whatever you want. So that's why I say I was spoiled.
Right.
I had to play football. It's a no-brainer. Every big kid back then had to play football. Basketball was my first love because that's all we did as kids.
Yeah.
So I played basketball. And then if you, he remember the teams I was on, it was cool to just be part of them teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was like, I hate to say this because I know we weren't that good, but we was like the Chicago Bulls. Even at Fairview.
Right.
Man, our eighth
We had
grade
a
year-
squad.
Yeah, we did.
So
Yeah, we did.
just to be part of the team was cool. And I even did track. No, I didn't run, so you ain't got to
I'm
ask.
about to say, wait a minute.
I did shot put a discus, so I didn't have to get a job.
Okay.
Kept my grades up, did what I had to do. My parents was cool. But my dad, he was just...
What was that thing? I mean,
No,
we
it
gotta
was,
hear about the
that's why I said I wish my mom was here. Because my mom was like, she felt so bad for me. But I just didn't do my chores. And I was asleep. He got up, got some water and saw them dirty dishes. Came in the back. Wow. Get up and wash them dishes. I'm like,
Your
oh,
dad
my. So
seen
I'm,
that
in-
as-
I'm, you know what I'm saying, thinking I'm dreaming. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just, that's some of the stuff that we went through back in our day.
Right.
That sometimes, you know, in today's time, you know, some of these kids are not blessed enough to have both parents.
Yeah.
You know, some of these kids are getting raised by their grandpa, their meemaw, pawpaws, or aunties.
Yeah.
Some of them getting raised by their big brothers.
Yep.
You know, and it's just,
We gotta
that's the
go
way
back.
the days of time has become. You know, so, you know, I feel very blessed to have both parents. I feel very blessed to have friends that wasn't no troublemakers.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about no juvenile detention, none of that. You know, when we was in high school, if somebody was missing for a week, we just thought they got expelled or something.
Right.
You know, we didn't know they was locked up.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I couldn't even tell you one person that was locked up that I knew of when I was in school.
When did you get to your first fight?
Georgia Tech.
So
I wasn't.
Wow.
I mean, he'll tell you I was like the gentle giant.
Right. I mean, because in high school you got voted as the friendliest.
Man, I'm just cool
It
with
was like
everybody.
the most friendliest, like
Yeah.
you know, like the yearbook thing.
Yeah.
He's voted most friendliest.
I'm
Bro,
just cool
you
with
know
everybody.
something, man?
I
Bro.
mean, 'cause my dad always told me, if I don't like you, you'll never know.
Yeah.
I just don't, excuse my language, I just don't have to fuck with you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to still treat you with respect. Because you might see me one day with a flat tire on the freeway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you stop, thank you, bro.
Right.
It is what it is. Handshake, go on about your business. You know what I mean? And that's the way he raised me. That's the way my mom raised me.
And shout out to Pops.
You know
Shout
what I'm
out to
saying?
Pop, because like
So
that
it's
is a
just-
very legendary thing. We want to go to.
Well, one thing that I wanted to kind of go back to waking you up, right? I think,
Never fails.
man. What your dad was doing was he was making you fear consequence at that point. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, bro, he didn't have to worry about you making bad choices. You see what I'm saying? Because he knew, he was like, let me make sure son know if he do make mistakes, man, that there will be a consequence, and the consequence may not come from me. You know what I'm saying? And it just registered home with you, man. Like, and going to the Georgia Tech where he said, when was your first fight? Bro, that made me think about my grandfather, bro. Man, my grandfather was on his deathbed, bro, and he was probably maybe a month or two from passing away. And we was talking about something, and my grandfather said he had never been in a fight.
What?
Man, my granddad was 94, 96 maybe.
That's how I
He
be.
said, I ain't never been in no fight. And I was like, what? He said, bro, I ain't never been in no fight.
That's
My
astounding.
grandfather, bro, do you know how polished it is, bro? For him to be able to say,
That's a stat.
and it's and somebody of Shep's size being able to intimidate, being able to just be bully, or have that one type of mind frame where you just trying to just be like just a fucked up person, bro. He don't got none of that in him, bro.
Right.
Like, that's legendary. That's
is
greatness.
legendary.
That's genius.
is.
That's discipline, bro. Shout.
Yeah.
Big shout out, bro. For real.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy because I have a son. He's at Ponus now, and I actually was talking to him about the same thing because, you know what I'm saying, he get into it with certain people.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying, he want to go to his girlfriend and vent, and then he go to his friend and vent. I say, why do you got to tell everybody you mad at this person? You can have a conversation with that person and get it over with, or
Yeah.
you don't got to tell them at all. That is your opinion of that person that you're allowed to have. You don't
Yeah.
have to share anything you're feeling. So I guess I'm doing all right. Thanks, Shep. Thanks, man. Shout out to Pops, man.
Yeah, man.
So speak about y'all Fairview team. So when did you know that y'all had like a real special team?
We was just beating the hell out of everybody. I mean, we just had athletes. You know, we had Rodney. Jackson in the middle that
He was dunking.
had it dunk. Look, he was dunking when he was 6. But I mean, he had a turnaround jumper that you couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had TJ, who was like
TJ
the
Martin.
LeBron back then.
He was.
He would drive. He was so strong. I mean, we just had so many pieces that we just outplayed everybody.
Man, every position.
You know what I'm saying?
Every position.
And it
bro.
was just fun to be a part of. I mean, we would travel Middletown, everywhere
Yeah.
just to play people, and couldn't nobody stop us.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
we
I didn't do much. You know, I was just even through high school, I was just the enforcer. I was just the dude that go in there, throw my weight around, and have fun with it.
On our 8th grade team, though, you started sometimes, though, didn't
Yeah,
you, Shep?
sometimes just
Yeah.
I think just somebody probably got in trouble in school.
When William Wagner came to our team, it would be the Shep
Yeah.
and Bunky.
Yeah.
Like, those two was kind of like
Like the Twin Towers?
No,
well, they
we
would
was
go
like the
back
Rick
and
Mahorns
forth
of the
with,
team.
yeah, they
The
would
Bill
go.
Lambiers.
Bunky could actually play
Oh,
at that
Bunky was
point.
he played good in high school.
Yeah, but we had my cousin Remy Gilbert.
Yep.
He was a big dog. Terrence Merriman.
Well, we had
He
a
was
lot
like
of
our
cats.
2 guard. Remy Point, Terrence at the 2,
Mm-hmm.
TJ Rodney, and then you had either Shep or Will
Yep.
or Bunky, we call him,
We had
to
a
come
lot of
in
kids.
to that 5th position, like our big.
So, what did it do for your confidence growing up to have a successful team, and you know what I'm saying, to transition to the next level of high school? Like, what did it do for your confidence then?
I always had confidence, but it was just. I'm gonna be honest. When I gained my confidence when I started going to Roosevelt.
Okay.
Playing.
Legendary Roosevelt, not
'Cause-
Roosevelt Commons. That
No.
bitch they got down there.
No, because my cousin,
Respect.
my cousin Kenny, they called him Shep Jordan. So he was like, you know, a legend at Roosevelt. So he used to take me with him, and you know, back then Roosevelt used to be deep.
Yeah.
You get there at 3, it's probably about 50 cats there.
Yep.
But he used to walk in and he would immediately play next. So he'd be like, if y'all want me to play next, you got to pick up my little cousin.
Big dog status for real.
But it was just, he let me play, 'cause he was like, whatever you do, you get the rebound and pass me the ball. I wasn't allowed to shoot.
Shep, Remy said that you should have been in 12 fights with him, but you were scared of it.
oh,
See, that's another.
ding, ding, ding,
Hey.
ding, 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 ding. Let's pick it up.
I wasn't scared of him. He was just a loose. He had a couple loose molecules. Reem, you had that Napoleon complex, bro. We didn't know. You was like, what was that movie, Split, when dude had like 8 personalities?
Yeah.
We didn't know what Reem we was getting, bro. One day you was just a cool cat. Next thing you know, you was the devil. Next thing you know, you trying to preach to us. The next day, you know, you talking about let's go rob the bank. I didn't know what Reem I was getting. You know what I'm saying? Hey, tell us, man. Hey, but once we stepped in our court, though, cuz, hey, you was lethal. I'll give you that much.
Man.
But still, you ain't passed me the ball enough. So I don't like you, bro. And I know you sitting there laughing.
He is. He put up all these laugh emojis.
You know, he was a loose cannon. That Napoleon complex.
Right.
Shep, but at Fairview, so we know basketball, but you had started playing football there too.
Yeah,
You did.
Yeah.
How was you dominating at your position?
I guess. According
Having
to
fun.
y'all, I was just playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no. I was just playing. All the boys played.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't go into playing sports like, oh, I'm gonna make something out of it. I was just playing to play.
Was you playing offense and defense?
Yep. Playing both, man.
So was you sacking? Was you racking on the defense?
you know what?
end?
I was just. It didn't really click how good I could have been, or how good that I could become, or that I became until I got to high school.
Okay.
You know,
Same
back
thing
then
with
it was
Pooh?
just like I was
Yeah,
a big dude,
exactly.
so I'm just pushing everybody. You know, get
Yeah.
out my way and laughing about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was really something to do, and you know, just like basketball, we was winning. So you know, it was better than going home, sitting at home, and having to cut grass every day. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least this route, I wasn't getting home to 6, 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So
Did Fairview win a championship in football?
yes, we did. I'm pretty sure we did,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. But you know, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, the main thing back then was beating Fairport.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that
Y'all
was
got
like,
that one game on the calendar that, you know what I'm saying, you circled, and that was for y'all.
you know, and that was because most of our homeboys went to Fairport. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because that division, divide, whatever.
Like we get to bus y'all, and then I can see you tomorrow on your way out.
So it was just, that was our main focus a lot of times.
So most people hit, what I'm saying, like their growth spurt in high school. Did you hit one when you first went?
I think I hit my growth spurt at 5. I don't know. I always been big though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll probably say around 6th, 7th grade. I probably grew some more.
So how was that transition from middle school to high school? And did you choose also did you get a choice this time, or was it still depending on where you lived at?
It still depends where you live at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because probably maybe if I had to walk from my house to Meadowdale, probably took 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was still the home school, the neighborhood school. But once again, everybody that went to Fairview and I'm going to Meadowdale along with cats, that was at Fairport, Unlike Reem, he went to Colonel White, but I don't know how the hell that happened, but it was cool. It really wasn't a hard transition. You know what I'm saying? It was just you went from being the team to freshmen to like looking up at all these older cats like, ooh, okay, I want to be like them when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? But we were still wrecking stuff freshman year.
So freshman year, did you just play freshman or did you dress?
No, we didn't. Did nobody dress varsity? Did nobody play varsity freshman year? We played freshman and maybe some reserve. But then sophomore year, that's when everything started rolling.
Okay.
Because half of us that was on the freshman team, when we became sophomore, we was all playing varsity.
Who was your freshman coach, Shep?
Coach Graham.
Coach Graham?
I want to say it was Coach Graham.
Okay.
Okay, so
I could be wrong though. Don't that was
You had Terrence Oster over there with you too.
Yeah, had meat hooks, big hands, big ears.
Oh yeah, Bone.
Yeah, his pops was another good dude too.
Yeah,
Spunk was a good dude, man.
for sure, man. Shout out to my brother T.A.
Yeah.
Bone, what's up, bro? Love you.
And the crazy thing is, both our dads' grave is right by each other.
wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Like side by side.
I mean, not side by side, but maybe from here to the wall.
Yeah.
So you can say side by side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Close enough.
he was a cool cat. He used to show up at our middle school games with gaiters on, with a silk suit.
Yeah. Yeah. Boss
with the waves popping. But it was a good childhood. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Right.
There's a lot of stories.
Well, that's what we're here for, man.
I mean, not like that, but just
yeah.
just growing up with cats. You know what I'm saying? That you still keep in touch with. You know what I'm saying? And
What are some of your friends that growing up that you seen them take a bad turn for the worse, such as like they got into the game of dealing drugs and things like that, or I mean, like you kind of just kept the same core people and moved to the next.
Pretty much nobody.
Right.
I mean, if they did, they didn't let it be shown.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't no, like, I got all these Reebok Cortezes or, classic Reebok. It wasn't, I didn't know too many cats who made it known back then like these cats do now.
Yeah, oh, come on, man. Like, what we asked Michael Wright about the whole self-incrimination thing on social media.
Oh, right.
Like, come on, man. But,
It's just, but then in the same aspect, we have people that looked out for you. If they knew you was doing good, they didn't bring no bad stuff your way.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want you to either mess up what you got going. So it was a lot of role models back then.
Exactly.
Than what a lot of people have now. I mean, it's a lot of role models now, but some of these younger generation cats don't want to listen to them.
Right. We got people that rather talk to their phone than talk to the people. You know what I mean? Like, they'll sit there and motivate you all they want to over their phone, but then you ain't out here active in the community. So shout out to the brothers Tony Ruby, Shaq. Oh my God. Oh my
Bird.
God. The legend. Oh,
Bird, all my street soldiers out
for
there.
sure. So now you're transitioning to, you know what I'm saying, like now y'all are playing varsity and stuff like that, or dressing. So on a football field, you know what I'm saying, you're starting to get a little bit of notoriety. So I did see that you was in the Dayton Daily newspaper of when like you committed, but before then you was already starting to get letters from colleges and stuff?
Yeah, I got my first 3 letters my sophomore year from O State, Penn State, and Tennessee.
How did that feel for you, and what did that mean to your family?
It was overwhelming, and I was like, "Oh, so this how this work?" It was cool, but then at one point, it got.
I heard it got overwhelming
nerve-wracking.
to the point where your mom had to literally make a bedroom just for your letter.
Yeah, we had a
grocery
dresser
store.
drawer that was nothing but. I wish I would have never thrown it away so my son could see it.
Wow.
But it was just drawers full of letters that I didn't even open. Now it was cool to get a letter from Tennessee, and it was that Tennessee orange envelope. You know, it was cool. But like I said, sometimes, you know, for the people that know me, I wasn't the one that, you know.
Everybody.
I don't think I
Ohio
thought.
State.
Well, anyway,
But yeah. But like you wasn't
But
a
it
big
was
fan
cool.
of Ohio State at all.
Well, no, I was going to commit to Ohio State, but John Cooper, he said something that I didn't like, but I know it wasn't nothing bad to say.
What did he
you know,
say?
Well, my dad was having, you know, little health issues, and he knew that I was going to visit Georgia Tech, and he was like, well, what if your dad have another stroke, and you down in Atlanta, and not at Columbus, which I understand. I would have been able to get home quicker. But to me, that's not something that you would say to a kid. And I know he didn't mean no harm by it.
Right.
But, I mean, and it was something to think about. But then I was like, I felt that you shouldn't have to say nothing like that to a kid to try to get him to come.
Right.
So then I was like, okay. You know, I agree with him. But then I was like,
It was a
Atlanta.
bad vibe in a way, though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I had a lot of friends that went to those states, you know, but it was like Atlanta, Columbus,
Yeah.
Atlanta, Columbus,
Right.
and then I was like, well, I could go to Atlanta. I'm 7.5 hours away, but my sister lived in Marietta,
Oh, okay.
and then my dad's family, they all from Valdosta, Georgia, so I got family there. So I was like, I like Georgia Tech, you know,
Right.
and then one of my friends, Marco Coleman,
Marco Coleman.
went to Georgia Tech. So,
Yeah.
you know, I would talk to him, and I just felt the vibe there. You know, I felt the coach, Kerry Cadet, who was recruiting me, he came up. My mom cooked. He was a country dude. I just felt good vibe. You know, I felt a good vibe with Cooper and all the coaches up there, but I felt a special vibe with him because he kind of put me in the mind frame of my pops.
Right. Okay.
So him and my pops was just joking, laughing. I was like, okay, I like this vibe. So that's when I just went down there.
So like you know how your mom nudged you, like you know she worked at Wilberforce, she was trying to get you to come down there. Like was any of that?
Nah, she. It wasn't my parents let me make my own decision,
That's super dope.
and that's something that I did with my son. You know, I'm not going to school with you, and that same thing they told me. You the one that got to be there at least 5 years.
Right.
We not the ones that's gonna be going to class, so you make your own decision.
Right.
And
So okay, go ahead.
I felt the love. That's all.
Hey, when a college is recruiting you, bro, one thing that always comes to my mind is what's the movie with Jesus Shuttlesworth?
Oh, he got
He
game.
got game.
He got game. Now, I ain't asking did they just rent out women for you, but
Whoa.
is it like do they roll out the red carpet for you like that when you getting recruited to a
What's the
college?
courting
Like
process of being recruited is what he's trying. Yeah.
He said roll
like
out
on
women.
a college visit.
Yeah. What's the courting process? I'm trying to get?
It's just basically they show you a good time.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, they go bring you down. Like when I went to Georgia Tech.
There we go.
He like,
There we go.
He like, here we go. We get to the. I went to Georgia Tech. We went to a basketball game.
Okay.
So I saw Travis Best and
Yeah,
the
Travis
Berry
Best.
Boys. All
Yeah.
them. Saw the atmosphere. Then we went to.
Did you get a chance to meet any of the
Oh
college
yeah,
players?
they was there when I got there.
Okay.
So
All right.
then we went to Club 112.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just they take you to all the happening spots.
Right.
And then, they put you up in a fancy hotel, and it's like, oh, wow, It's just, they basically feeding you and telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know what other schools do. It is what it is.
So you only went to one school?
I went on 3 visits,
Okay.
which I kind of regret not taking all 5.
Okay.
I went, but
What were the 5 schools that you had to narrow down to? Was it West Virginia,
it was West Virginia, Ohio State, Georgia Tech.
Virginia, what was
Virginia.
it?
Tennessee.
West Virginia and Michigan.
Yep.
Oh, Michigan too.
And I didn't go up on my visits because of basketball.
Example.
Because we was number 1 in the state.
Okay.
And I didn't want to miss no games.
Oh.
So
okay.
all my visits, usually visits go from Friday to Sunday. I left Saturday mornings because we had a game Friday nights.
Right.
So I never missed a game.
Dang, man. That's pretty impressive.
And then I went to O State. That's, Big Daddy was my my mentor. That's when I seen Eddie George, and I was like, who's this cat? They was like, he a tight end. A year later, he the running back. You know what I'm saying?
And ended up being a
Big
dog at running back.
And then I went to West Virginia, but it was Christmas break, so there wasn't nobody there.
Okay.
And then I went to Georgia Tech, which everybody was there, but I only spent one day there.
Wow. So you did all that one day, like met the basketball players, went to 112, all that. Say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, like I said, just because I didn't want to miss no game, like he'll tell you, we was rocking and rolling. So if you missed a game, you're liable to miss about 10 dunks.
Yeah.
You're liable to miss Carlos crossing over somebody.
Yeah, Los Knox.
So it was just, you didn't want to miss it.
And for for instance, I'm saying, like, I go to, my son's game as opponents, and they have the basketball atmosphere, but nothing is like the older gyms and the stumping in the bleachers and the,
Nah.
you know what I'm saying, the missing, all that stuff was like.
Our crowds was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that after us it wasn't like that, but our crowds, and Smed will tell you, it was, if you didn't get there at least by the end of the freshman game or maybe the first half of JV, you was not going to get a seat.
Standing up.
So like I said, I just played to stay in shape and to get a front row seat. Like, I want to see my dogs, you know what I'm saying? And I played, but it was just, it was
like
just
a minor
cool.
role, but
Yeah.
more or less it was like, I mean,
It was a big role.
yeah.
It was a
There
big
we
role.
go.
but
Yeah, there we go.
It wasn't like, I didn't go out there and play, 3 quarters, but I did my role. My role was to go in there and rebound. Throw my weight around.
Right.
I gave some hard fouls, laughed at it, tried to take a charge, but I didn't fall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just did it to have fun.
Right.
That's the difference between the childhood,
Bro,
then and now.
What was it like playing with a talent like Carlos Knox? Because, man, he went on to play professionally, and he's at UC right now
yeah.
as a coach. So what was it like playing with Los, bro?
Comical.
Yeah.
I mean, comical. I mean, it's no other way to put it, man.
Yeah.
He was a funny dude, man.
Man, he is.
It was never a dull moment with him. I don't care if we had to run 100 sprints. It was never a dull moment. But come game days, he was locked and loaded.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, I mean locked and loaded. He was shooting a lot. I'm just playing.
No, he's not
But
playing.
he was really tuned in every
good.
game. You knew that you would get the most out of Los. So it was cool. Our senior year was, junior and senior year was like a team full of comedians. Our junior year we had E. Boykin. So he was a straight comedian.
Yeah, man.
But
Shout out to
we had
Eric
D.
Boykin.
Hall,
Sure.
we had Q, we had B. Martin, we had a squad.
Yeah.
And then to carry on to our senior year, then you got Andy.
Yeah.
Comical, but hell of an athlete. You
Yeah.
had Shawnee. We had so many parts that it was just never a dull moment, but we all competed.
Man.
We had Chuck Porter, Kip Hubbard, Sam. We
Yeah.
had all of them.
Yeah.
But it was never a dull moment. And we knew that we were, and this is no disrespect to any team that we played, but we knew we would face more talent going against each other than playing against, any other team.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a firm believer that anybody, I'm going to say on our bench maybe, could have went to another school and if not started, played a key role.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had that many athletes that had go. Now, whether we played a lot or not, it is what it is. But we had enough go to the point that we pushed our starters to be where they was.
Right.
So
And, Coach Ward, he had his daughter was dating Anthony Hardaway, right?
Yep, Penny, yep.
Didn't Penny Hardaway come to the
Yep,
school?
he
sometimes?
came there and gave us buckets, but you know what I'm saying? But it was cool. It was cool to see somebody, back then we didn't know.
Right.
We just knew the cat was going to Memphis.
Yeah.
But when you look at him, he's 6'7", 6'8", playing point.
Yeah.
We're like, man, this dude, he a center.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, we was able to see that.
He was already kind of like he was well known. Though.
He was well known,
he
but I think he had like one more year. He went back and played another year or something like that.
Like he was definitely a celebrity when he was coming up.
They made blue chips while he was still at Memphis.
Did he? Okay. So it was like Penny Hardaway is at Meadowdale practice, and it was major.
Cool. But yeah, he was giving us buckets though. That was a nice experience. Even though we was all like, "Wow, look at this cat," you know what I'm saying? But it was, it was cool.
So up to this point, man, like your life is like a fairy tale up to this point because you done ducking down all other pitfalls. You got mom and everything like that, and dad holding you down. Every team you jumping on, y'all winning, y'all. So how far did y'all go in y'all senior year?
We didn't make the playoffs.
Okay.
We never made playoffs. Sports back then was different. You had to damn near go. Well, it was based on computer points too.
Oh, so you had to win out basically.
You had to basically go damn near undefeated and play teams that could give you points.
Right.
Like my senior year, we had to go to Bloomington, Indiana to play a team. A lot of people didn't want to play.
Right.
Not saying that they were scared, but they didn't want to play. We had a good squad.
Right.
But it was like when we lost, we would lose to out-of-state teams.
Right.
Like we lost to Lancaster, we lost to Bloomington or something like that. The only city school that I lost to was the Dunbar. But senior year we beat.
There we go.
And that was the senior title. I mean, the city title, but it was always a good match with us. So it was just different. Not like now where damn near every school make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But it was a lot harder. And back then, everybody was D1.
Right.
So you faced good quality teams back then. You know what I'm saying?
Every night.
Yeah, every Friday night it was like it was a showdown somewhere. So it was cool.
So now you transitioning into you graduate, mom's happy, you already signed your attention letter, you in the newspaper, everything going good. What's your first year of college like?
Hell.
It
was hot.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I mean, no, it was a transition that was hard. I redshirted my freshman year, and I came home like every weekend. Cause that's when AirTran came about, where you could get a round trip ticket for like $80. So I was home like every weekend.
Was it more homesick or more like I don't like it here, ain't none of my friends here?
It was homesick, pretty much. Like I said, I was spoiled. I'm a mama's boy. I'm a daddy's boy too, but I was spoiled. So I would come home, fly back on Sunday. Did that during the whole football season. Till I got to a point where my parents were like, you just got to stick it out. So, the people down there, I was cool with them. Because most of the players that end up signing, that we was all on the same visit.
Right.
So I was cool with all them. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I just wanted to come home. It was a different pace. You go from Dayton to Atlanta.
Yeah, way faster.
Way faster. And that was something that I really wasn't used to. You go in here, you got this club, you got this club, you got that club. We lived in Waffle House. We got this, you got that. It was fast.
So did you see something that was like wild when you first went there that was like, wow, like that's interesting? Was there anything like that? Like
the only thing that stood out to me, he like, okay, now we get to. Now the only thing that stood out to me was Freaknik.
Oh, here we go.
You know what I'm saying? That was something different.
Shout out to Kerry Ivy, man. So he told about his experience down there. DJ Ron Hunter told us a little bit about his experience down there. What was your experience like at Freaknik? And you can say it was a friend of mine. You ain't got to say it was you.
All right. I mean, it wasn't
a friend of mine.
It was just a different atmosphere where there was no worries. Now, my freshman year, it was off the chain. Atlanta was basically just a free fall. You might see some stuff here, you might see some stuff there, but it was everybody got along. It was just a one big ass party the whole weekend. To the point where Freaknik happened during our spring football.
Okay.
Our spring football game was Freaknik weekend.
Oh, wow.
So we out there, you supposed to be saying 1, 2, we out there spelling out Freaknik. You know what I'm saying? Coach getting mad, like I know y'all going to hit the streets after this, but damn it, man. It was just one big party. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, my freshman year, sophomore year, it was. I'm trying to think. When was the Olympics? 96.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
nice.
So 93, 94, it was just a free for all. 95, they started to try to balance traffic out because they was preparing for the Olympics.
Olympics be in
So they was building all kind of stuff. So, like I said, freshman, sophomore year, it was just one big ass party where you would see anything you can imagine, you saw.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just let your mind go like that. Anything you could just imagine.
And in my head, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, anything from
I went.
let's see.
Oh,
I
you
did.
didn't even tell
Look,
me that
it
story.
was this funny story.
All right.
You can ask Bone about it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Bone came down from college. He brought all his homeboys. They drove an Astro van to Atlanta. They get down there. They come to my spring game. They thinking they gonna see me play. You know, then I kind of made a name for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't play the spring game.
Right.
I'm sitting on the sideline chilling.
Right.
You know, we went out in the streets and they was passing out Wu-Tang stickers because that's when Wu Wear
Yeah.
and the Wallabies and all that came out.
Yeah.
They put a stick on the side of the Astro van. Everybody thought that we was part of Wu-Tang. So everybody was taking pictures. Like, where's Method Man? Where ODB? So we riding around, got the windows up, windows tinted.
Yeah.
They didn't know who the hell we was. So it was just, I mean, it was that crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it was like,
Everybody running, putting titties on the glass and
man,
everything.
everything, bro.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, it was that wild. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm watching what I say. I got family watching.
Of course.
But it was that wild where the freakiest things you could think of, you saw.
Right.
Never seen any violence unless it was somebody, two drunk dudes fighting.
Right,
and
right.
One of them pushed one and he just passed out.
Right.
But other than that,
Freak
you didn't
niggas
see
was
none
like-
of that.
Yeah.
You could walk down the street and see nudity. Just whatever you see, you just be like, wow. You just gonna do that right there? Well, I'm gonna sit here and watch. You know, I mean, it was like that. It was like that. You know what I'm saying? But then 95, they started directing traffic onto the freeway to keep them out of the city where they was building for the Olympics. Really didn't stop nothing.
Right.
'Cause you had people grilling on 75
What?
because traffic was at a standstill.
Oh, yeah, so we might just be out there.
Yeah. So it was just, but it was still fun. It was easy for us because Tech is right downtown. So I could sit in my dorm, look out my window, see 75. So I just walk to the party.
Wow.
You know
Yeah,
what
it
I'm saying?
was just traffic jam.
Yeah.
The whole. I mean, you pop out your car and just walk through,
Walk wherever.
pull up, walk up to cars, kicking it. I mean, it was just. It
was
just
just a
completely
party.
lit. Everything just lit everywhere.
That
Everywhere you
sounds
went.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
super,
So
super
it
cool.
was fun. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, even to this day, people ask me, do you regret going to Georgia Tech? No.
Never.
Well, y'all didn't go to a bowl game till your senior year. That makes it even sweeter. Because not saying that it would have gotten old, but when you do something your last year,
Yeah.
it makes it better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. It's kind of
No
like you
regrets, you know what I'm
finally
saying?
overcame and was able to
Yeah,
achieve what
and
you've
it's
been
like-
looking for.
at my senior year at Tech, they went to like 8, 9 straight bowl games. So we look at it like we started the trend.
Right.
You know, so I mean, Atlanta. Shout outs to Atlanta. It was fun.
Man, Shep, so was you in Atlanta when the Olympic bombing happened?
No,
But was it during your stint down there?
I'm trying to think. Was it? What? It was they was doing the Olympics.
Yeah.
Was it the 90?
Yeah, so I
96
was there, but
Olympics?
during the Olympics, we was up in North Dahlonega, Georgia, for camp
Okay.
because we couldn't use our campus.
Yeah.
So we was at the military school up north,
Yeah.
and while they was just doing whatever. So, I mean, but it was cool, man. It was cool.
So I'm gonna ask you a 2-part question. How do you feel about the one and dones, and what did you study when you was in college?
It one and done's. To be honest, it is what it is. I mean, because a lot of people don't understand some athletes' lifestyles or upbringing. I mean, you'd be a fool to have a $10 million contract that you can see right there,
Yeah.
and you come from a family that, you know, was in poverty. You know what I'm saying, or didn't have nothing. You'd be a fool to turn that down, whether you ready or not.
Right.
Now, sometimes you look at it, you know, it's a 50-50. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? Some athletes need to stay to develop. You know, we all know some athletes that one and done and went to the league and flop or didn't develop until 4 or 5 years later.
The OJ Mayos of the world, stuff like that.
So, it is what it is.
But if you're going to, like, you can always go back to school.
Yeah, I went back to school to finish.
Yeah, so it's kind of
I
like.
just got my bachelor's last year.
What is the advantage in staying in school when you have a job opportunity? I mean, you're in college to go and get a job and have a career and be a professional. So, like, you should get that money while it's right there. And then if it doesn't work out, you can always go back to school and continue your education and do what you would have done if you didn't make it to the league. So,
I never knock the people that leave early. That's on them. That's the decision they make.
But what about with football, though, Shep? I mean,
football is different, though.
You got to play, what, 3 years?
I think you got to play 3
you
years. Yeah, you got to play 3 years.
Is there anybody who you think would be ready right out of high school to go to the NFL?
No.
You playing with grown men.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Maybe 2 years, depending on what position you play.
Yeah.
Can't no lineman go straight to the league.
Not
You
lineman.
Ain't strong enough.
Maybe a skill position.
Maybe
a
a skill.
Maybe a receiver.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, that's a big maybe.
Backer probably.
Yeah, but it's a different breed. Basketball, you could do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's more finesse.
But it's only certain ones that was able to succeed right from it.
Right.
LeBron was a special breed.
What about Maurice Claret? Do you think he was ready to go to the NFL?
Probably so. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll never know.
Right.
I wish he could have. Man,
Yeah,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
was a star.
We never really had nobody to really push the envelope to even make it to shores.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, will we ever have that? I don't know. You know what I mean? But we can't. It's something that you really can't talk about when you haven't seen it.
Right. So, what was your major in college when you was there?
Business management. It was architecture when I got there, but that shit didn't pan out.
What did you like about architecture?
Well, I mean, I just like art. I just like design, stuff like that. But what some people don't understand, being a college athlete and you're on a scholarship, you're almost, to me, you're like a piece of meat. You're owned, so you have to follow certain rules. I had to change my major after my sophomore year because a lot of the architecture classes was offered in the afternoon.
Right.
I got football.
Right.
So it's like, go to school and pay for it, change my major, play football, and school's paid for it.
Right.
I take that one.
Right.
So it's stuff that you have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's a job. And it's not as easy as what people think it is. Of course you going to school for free. Of course you getting this. You getting gear. You getting this. You getting fed. But it's still a job.
Yeah.
And some people don't understand.
It's really not. You're not going to school for free.
Right. You putting in the work for it. You getting up at 5 a.m. to go work out before class, and then they expect you to stay up in class.
Right.
Then you got to carry a GPA. You got to do this. You got to do that. Then you got to be done with class by 1 o'clock because you got meetings at 2 o'clock. Then you got practice at 3 o'clock. You done at 6 o'clock, and then you got dinner. Then you got study hall. So it's a job.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna ask you there. So starting from playing, you know what I'm saying, like in the backyard with your friends and all that type of stuff, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
You go to, you know what I'm saying, like elementary school, the middle school, the high school. It's fun. It's free.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to be like a job. This is your first taste of. It's probably, you know what I'm saying, like walk me through the feeling of feeling like that.
You have to do it.
Yeah, like you have to do it now.
Well, the feeling was, do you want to let your family down? Or do you want your family to have to pay for school?
Right.
Yeah.
Scholarship is $300,000, depending on where you go. My family don't have that. So you have to perform. You have to do some things that you don't want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you carrying a legacy. You carrying the last name. You represent your family.
Right.
So you can't do something wrong or it's going to make your family look bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to have some type of motivation. You're going to have your fun. I had my fun.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? But still, you still got to separate your fun from business. And that's something that we have to deal with as athletes going to college. You have to separate the two, And, a lot of people, if you haven't been through it, you think it's easy.
Right.
But it's not. I mean, it's just not. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got to have love for the game to even put yourself through it.
Right.
Or you got to have a certain goal in mind that you want to reach, to have to go through all the levels of hard work that you have to go through.
Right.
It's not easy. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, when you in school, now college athletes can get paid for somebody who wants to use them in a commercial or something
Right.
like that. They get paid for their likeness.
Right.
Did you feel like you ever had an opportunity to, I mean, you couldn't have done it back then, but do you think back then you would have been able to get you a couple of endorsement deals from your stature? I mean, you did have a name.
If
You
they had
was
it back then,
projected-
probably so.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us could.
yeah.
I probably could. I mean, they did an article on me and called me the Dayton Flyer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I probably could have. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? I mean, I thought I was a shit when I got there because I seen my jersey hanging up in the bookstore. But, you know, it
Yeah.
wasn't no name on the back.
Right.
But it was number
It was-
92. So I
yeah.
was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Thought I was a shit, but it was a dude, Coleman Rudolph,
Yeah.
who was there when they won the national title in 90. That was his number.
his number.
But I didn't tell nobody. I was like, oh, they got my jersey hanging up. Tell
Yeah.
everybody at home. So, I mean, I think a lot of us could have got paid back then.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us should have got paid, you know, for all the money that they was making.
Yeah.
Back
But then
then
it's
was,
just,
what like the EA Sports, did they have like a college football?
I was on that,
Did
but they
you-
couldn't
did
put
you-
the names on there.
Yeah, they
so
didn't.
we didn't reap no
But you
benefits from it.
still, did you ever use yourself? Did
Yep.
you ever play the game? And how'd that feel, bro?
It was cool, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish, you know, now you look at stuff like, oh, I wish I would have kept that Sega. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Or I would have, you know, kept stuff like that. You don't think about that back then.
Right.
But it was cool. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, I knew it was me because they
Yeah.
had the same year,
Same
position,
height, weight,
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it had your
So-
number. You knew where you stood on the
Right.
field,
Yeah,
so,
so
you
it
knew
was
that was
it was cool, man.
That
It was
is
real
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
you know.
that's. I always wondered how that felt, man, to actually be able to, you know,
Play
use
with-
yourself
yeah.
on a video game.
It,
Yeah,
it
that's,
was
that's
cool,
major.
man. It was a sight to see, for real, for real.
So so you play all 4 years, but walk us through that last game for you.
It was a bowl game
Bowl game. So
against West Virginia.
Against West Virginia, which was one of the teams that try to recruit you. So,
Right.
so to you, this is all about, you know what I mean? You want to win. You all saying like you representing the name on the front. They ain't got your name on the back, but you know what I mean. It's just for you and you know what I'm saying, and your family.
Right.
What's that last game like for you?
It was fun. I mean, because I had some friends that played for West Virginia, so it was like, you know, we ain't seen each other since All-Star game in high school. So it was nice. We was in Fort Lauderdale. It was the CarQuest Bowl. You know, we having fun in Florida. You know, and when it came game time, you know, the seniors was more or less like, we have to win this. This is our last hurrah. And it was a tough game because I think West Virginia had famous Amos Zaraway.
Wow.
So he shook me on the play. So
Shout out, baby.
What position did you play, Shep?
huh?
What position?
What, me?
Yeah,
Oh, defensive tackle.
defensive tackle. Okay.
Yeah. So it was, you know, it was cool going against him, and then later on seeing, you know, it's always cool to see people you play against and then they make it.
Right.
And especially when you see some that really make it in the league,
Yeah.
like a Tiki Barber.
Yeah.
You know, I played against them, Aaron Brooks, when they was all at Virginia. You know, Ward Dunn. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Ward Dunn.
So it's cool to see people that you played against, that you tackled, or, you know what I'm saying, in the league and retired, and some of them might be Hall of Famers soon, you know. So, but
I got something.
that last game, oh God.
Shep, man, come on, bro. Walk us through you lining up in your defensive stance, bro, and you figure out a way to get a sack, man. Like, come on,
They gotta
you
feel
walk me
good,
through that
man.
moment, bro. Like, and then the whole stadium is erupting off of something that you did, bro. How it feel?
It was cool, man. But I ain't one of the ones. I ain't one of the ones that be like, you know what I'm saying. I never been one of the ones that. Don't get me wrong. Everybody want the limelight,
Yeah,
but I just wanted to win.
Right.
yeah,
You know, we had, put it this way, it was hella fun because we always had a sack pool.
yeah.
Everybody put in $20.
Or whoever get the most sacks for the game,
Yep.
y'all get the pool.
Yep.
Y'all get the pot.
Yep. It probably went up to maybe $160.
Yeah. But that's
It's
cool,
something to
though.
do.
It felt like $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, that $160 got spent after the game.
Yeah.
You know, beer, and we might have went to the joint. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you end up getting it back, but it was just you just wanted to play and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The crowd is the crowd, but after you played in front of a crowd so many times, the crowd is you know, tune it out.
You tune it out.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the crowd. It is what it is.
Man, when a receiver, like a skill position, or you got a quarterback, man, somebody like Brady, or you got Peyton Manning, who seemingly just take over games at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like they have blocked the whole crowd out and they just in there just focused, or are they feeding off of the crowd and feeding off of the energy of the crowd?
Probably a little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
And you might as well throw in there that they got ice in their veins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My quarterback at Tech was Joe Hamilton. Dog.
Yeah.
He lived for the moment. He was one of the ones that, hey, I want the ball, period.
Yeah.
Littlest dude out there, but he had the heart of God, you might as well say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a dog. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, either some people got it or they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I say it's a little bit of all of it. You know, tuning them out. They live for the moment, you know, and they just a baller. You know what I'm saying? Just a playmaker.
Shit, what kind of stuff do y'all say in the huddle, bro? Like when I mean, you know, like these.
When we watching on TV, we don't know what's going on.
Are you guys just in there calling plays, or are y'all
Calling
talking
plays.
shit?
If your boy got burnt, hey, bro, hey, shit, get your shit together.
Yeah,
I
y'all.
mean, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all having like just a meeting. A huddle is an actual meeting where y'all getting shit together and y'all just.
One thing we didn't do a lot was try to put somebody down.
Yeah.
You know, in football, you have to develop amnesia.
Right.
Next play.
You know, next play. That's every coach's quote right there. Next play. Next play. I mean, even the best football player corner got burnt.
Yeah.
Even the best offensive tackle got beat. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's been perfect. If somebody played a perfect game their whole career, hey, introduce me to him.
Yeah.
I want his autograph and his jersey. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go on to the next play.
Right.
You know, in the huddle, sometimes it's like, man, we got to get out this field. We tired as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, one thing that I miss is the brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go to war with some of your best friends. High school, I miss the brotherhood. College, I miss all of that. That's why I coach to this day.
Yeah.
To try to install that in some of these kids, you know, whatever that I went through. So it's, you know, it's been a couple times, you know, some stories. Man, bro, come on, bro. He's killing you. He's dogging you.
Yeah.
To try to get him motivated to, you know, step his game up. You know
So
what I mean?
the huddle is definitely just more than just calling a play.
Yeah, it's more than just calling a play. It's damn near like a team meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all know it's third and short. You know what they gonna do.
Right. Like, man, lock these niggas up, man. I don't want them getting shit.
Now listen.
Everybody dig in.
So-
Dig in.
I'm gonna tell you how bad I be trying to mastermind football games, right? Because I was the type of person that always wanted to play football, but you know what I'm saying? I was the king of the backyard football. I'm gonna let you know it right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dog, okay? Throw that right shoulder, I got it every time, right? But anyways,
Yes, sir.
But to me, I be watching like football games, right? And then like, you know, like the end of the game, like they run out of timeout stuff. I'm like, how can they put like a weak person in and then fake an injury so you get extra timeout?
Yeah, you really don't though. You do, but you don't. But they'll keep you from going over to your coaches.
Or Aaron, I think sometimes they do a time runoff on you too.
Yeah, it's like a 45 seconds run the clock off, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because if that's the case, everybody do it.
Yeah, I was thinking like, man, boy, I be getting that off. Like,
Man, one thing that I've always wondered is like, why don't football, like a 2-minute drill? It seemed like, bro, like at the end of the game, teams score so easy.
Yeah.
And it's like the defense is always playing on their heels. So I just wonder why more teams don't play with that intensity more
From the get-go.
often through the
fatigue
game.
is like you
Yeah,
said.
it's
yeah.
fatigue setting in too, though.
Yeah.
But then, it all depends on how well you coach them. Look at the game last night. Was the Ole Miss against Louisville? They was running.
Yeah. Like
They in
Oregon.
shape. Yeah.
Like
in
an
shape.
Oregon offense, Chip Kelly, man. That's
Yeah,
how my
they
team would
just
play,
rolling.
bro. We'd be running and gunning, bro.
So back to your story. So like, after 4 years,
Right.
There's no other way of doing
Kicking it with Shep, man.
One way to
We
transition.
kicking it with Shep right now.
Big Shep. What's a big or the big Shep? Okay,
Kicking it with Big Shep.
Big Shep. So after your 4 years, like you mentioned before, like you still came back to finish your degree. But at this point in time, are you eyeing to get in the league, or are you?
Well, I got picked up free agent.
Yes. Yeah. So
by
like
the
you went
Dolphins.
undrafted. So
Right.
So did you watch the whole draft? Thing like
Yeah.
That? Okay.
Cause they, back then you had was like 6 rounds. So I was told that I might go in the 4th, might go in the 5th, might go in the 6th, whatever. Have family over.
How'd that feel, man? Like having everybody over there, like.
I mean, it was cool. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to go on the first day.
Right.
So the second day, I was just like, I don't feel like sitting through all this. I wouldn't lay down.
Right.
Party going, I just wouldn't lay down. But as soon as that last pick came, then my phone started ringing.
Okay.
And it really came down between San Fran, Arizona, and Miami. I chose Miami because my cousin is a Miami Dolphins fan,
That was your only reason for choosing Miami.
pretty much. And then I didn't want to go far away from, too far.
Right.
I got family in Miami. So I was like, I'm going to go to Miami, which I don't have no regrets. I mean, I don't have no regrets in anything I've done, because either you learn from them or it was a good decision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, went down there, had a good time.
So wait. So what was that like going into this 1998 training camp, right?
Yeah.
So like you going in there with the legendary Jimmy Johnson, you know what I'm saying? At this point, he already got his rep. You got Dan Marino as the quarterback. What's that like going in there? I mean,
I was starstruck.
Yeah.
Dan Marino had 5 lockers. So he had a locker with all his braces, Achilles brace, knee braces, locker with shoes, locker with his personal stuff. He had his own area, which was cool. I was in there like, wow.
right.
Yeah.
I'm getting gloves. I got a pair of Jason Taylor's gloves, Zach Thomas gloves,
Zach Thomas.
all for my cousin.
Wow.
Just, hey, King. You know what I'm saying? The thing that it was crazy was you in the NFL, you got cats making all this money, but they getting so much free stuff. Like, cats got Nike deals, so they could just order Nikes.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I had a friend, he went to UC, Brad Jackson. He had got drafted by the Dolphins that year, I think 3rd round. It's free stuff.
Wow.
I used to hang out with him. We used to go to Planet Hollywood and eat for free. Because his agent, he had to connect. I mean, it's just amazing. It just seems like the more money you make,
The less you gotta
the
pay.
less you got to pay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it is what it is. That's almost,
But that's biblical, man.
Yeah,
it said
it's
to,
like-
to the people who got everything, you'll get more. But to those who don't got anything, the little that you got shall be taken away.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was, I was only there for like 2-3 months, then I got released, which is.
But before that, so what's it like going from, you know what I'm saying, like, because like now you got a chance to coach, and then we'll get to your coaching history, of course, but seeing how you trained for high school probably was, you know what I'm saying, like y'all got y'all 2-a-day, stuff like that. Then you go to college, to where, of course, they ramp it up higher. You got better facilities, 24-hour facilities. You gotta go work out. What is an NFL training camp like?
It's the same. We had to running test we had to pass, which we had to run 16 110s, and your time was like 8 to 10 seconds to complete it.
They weren't more lenient on the lineman or nothing like that, or like the big guy.
You had to get it. It was just a conditioning test. You had to pass it, or you had to do extra once camp started.
Right.
And you don't want to do extra when camp started.
Right.
So it was still all the same, except now. Well, once again, it's another job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got to prove yourself to stay. You got to play a certain way to stay. College, you sign, you get there, it's either you play or you don't.
Right.
You there 4 to 5 years.
Right.
In the pros, you got to
Put up or shut up at this point.
basically.
Okay.
Or kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? So it's very intense. I've learned a lot from it. I learned how sometimes it could be politics involved. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it could be a money thing. However you want to do it, but you have to work to stay, and that's just how it is.
So about the grind of, you know what I'm saying, like being undrafted, how do they compensate you while you're doing training camp?
I mean, you get a stipend.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It just all depends on what your agent and that organization negotiate. You know, you could get, hell, $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week. You know, whatever they talk about, whatever they, you know, come to terms with, that's what you get.
Right. So, like, how was your relationship with your manager?
Oh, he was fine. Brian Ransom, he was cool. He was Marco Coleman's agent. So,
okay.
You know, basically, it almost seemed like just kept it in the family.
Right.
You know, he was real good. He did everything he could for me. You know what I'm saying? He got me playing the Dolphins, the Patriots, and got me in the Arena League. And then I just went off from there.
So, now you finally going from Miami, you know what I'm saying? You there for 2 months, and then you get released. I mean, it kind of put a bad taste in your mouth, probably a little bit. But then now you're about to go to New England. So, like, you normally are a person that's like, well, I want to be close to family. Now you're out in Foxborough. Was that, like, just a love to try to play, or was it?
Just another opportunity to try to do what I want to do. Yeah, just keep it pushing. At that point, that's when I learned a lot about the whole business aspect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got enough, you know, I was blessed to get another opportunity. Let's go see, make the best of it.
Oh.
If it works, it works. If it don't, it is what it is.
So did you see a drastic change between the way Jimmy Johnson ran his compared to how Pete Carroll and the Drew Bledsoe era was?
Nah, they both was great coaches. They both was intense. They both was winners. They both was, you know, leaders.
How many lockers did Drew Bledsoe have? What I'm trying to ask you, sir?
He had about 3 or 4. Yeah, but I mean, you know, the vets, you know, get what they want. You know, he had about 3 or 4. Drew he was a great dude. You know, I met a lot of people there too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was just, you know, because when I went to the Patriots was the year that they drafted Kevin Falk at LSU.
Yeah.
So, it was a whole.
Was Tom Brady there at that time?
No,
it was Drew
he didn't come
Bledsoe.
till after I left.
He came the very next year.
Well,
Brady came the next year?
Yep.
Okay.
So then, you know, like you know what I'm saying, like you have your stint there. So I mean, like you work your tail off, and then what happens after that?
Came home, started working, just picked a little job up at the Salem Mall. I was gym shoe fanatic, so I was working at Champs. And then I got another call. Hey, you want to play arena?
Arizona Rattlers.
I'm like, cool, let's go.
So you fly out to Arizona. So now you way away from home now.
Just having fun.
Love.
I mean, it's a blessing to be able to do those things. And I had a lot of family support. So it was like, hey, Arizona called me. They want me to come play. But what is arena? I don't know. It's football. I'm gone. And went out there and had a ball.
Yeah.
What were some of the biggest challenges that you had going from regular football? Well, you know, traditional football, and no disrespect to people that's overseas that call soccer football. I'm not arguing with y'all today. And then you transitioned into arena football. What were some of your biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge was the field is smaller. It's a 50-yard field. But one of the biggest things was the wall. You have a wall.
Yeah.
So for linemen, it wasn't that much of a change, except now we had to go both ways. You had to play offense and defense, which was cool because I played offense and defense in high school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, it was great because in high school, I was really getting recruited as an offensive tackle, offensive guard. Georgia Tech is the only school that recruited me for defense. I wanted to be like my brother. My brother loved Lawrence Taylor, so I wanted to play defense. So I played defense.
Yeah.
So playing arena football, it was right up my alley. So that wall was a monster. But just seeing how to play and being taught by the veterans, hey, you do this, whoop de whoop, I fell in love with arena football. I loved arena football more than I did any other football. Just because you right there, you hands-on, it's quick. The fans is right there where you can go shake their hand and get back in the huddle, you know what I'm saying? And I just fell in love with it.
You love that part of that.
Oh, yeah. And played that for 8 years.
Now, was there a player that you saw there that was like a complete freak of nature? You like, what are you even doing here? Did you run by somebody like that? Like,
what about Fred's at Arizona? His name was Hunky Cooper.
Hunky Cooper.
That
Black
was his name. Yep. He is an arena football legend. Hall of Famer. Him, one of my other friends, Cedric Bonner, he was the quarterback. 6'6", left arm. Hunky played every position on the field. He about Smad height.
Yeah.
But he was
A dog.
And he was, like I say, he was a legend. And he was one of the ones that took me under his wing. this how you supposed to do this, young buck. You supposed to do this, do that. I'm like, bro, I don't need you. No, this how you supposed to do this and do that. This ain't outdoor no more. And he taught me a lot. He was a freak of nature. Antonio Brown's dad.
Antonio Brown.
His dad, touchdown Eddie Brown.
Yeah.
That was his name in the arena.
Oh,
Legend.
wow.
So, you know, I met a lot of cool people. And, like, when I found out that was his dad, I was like, damn, I'm old as hell. I played against your dad, bro. No wonder you sweet. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
it was nice, man. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know,
With arena football, is it a do they got a loyal fan following in the arenas, or just packed and it's lit?
It's like go to UD
Yeah.
and
Rabbit fan.
how the crowd is.
Yeah.
Now put a football field over the court.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it was. That's how it is to this day
Yeah.
in the arena. You know, certain leagues. You know, so it's nice, man, and it's just, you know, it's more of a fan friendly game, because even after the games you have to sign autographs.
Okay.
That's part. I'm not gonna say it's part of the contract, but that's part of playing arena football.
Right.
Yeah.
After the games,
You
they
gonna
let
be
the
close
fans.
to the fans,
Yeah,
man.
they let the fans come on the field.
Oh, wow.
You know, so they can sign autographs, stuff like that. So that's why I fell in love with
Was
it.
your team good, Shep?
Yeah, we was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the teams I played on, we was good.
Okay.
You know, but it's just the atmosphere. You know what I mean? So
So, how long do you play for the Arizona Rattlers?
2 years.
2 years. What are some things that you like to do in Arizona? Because I got a couple friends in Arizona. Of course, you got to do a lot of things at night. Cause
It'd be too hot during the
it's too
day.
hot during the
But
day.
I forget the club. We used to go out to I forget the name of the club, but back then everything shut down early in Arizona. The clubs was closing at 1.
Wow.
So it was
This
like,
Phoenix.
there you go.
Oh, that's the name of the club, Phoenix.
Yeah.
But was you in Phoenix, Arizona?
No,
Damn.
That was a lucky
I
guess,
think-
there, Smith.
I think it was.
Pretty
I think the club was called Phoenix though. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because we used to go to Suns games,
Yeah.
you know, because the owner that owned the arena team owned the Suns. So
That's
we
a
used to
Dan
go-
Marley era, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
Kevin Johnson,
Yeah,
all that.
Kevin
Yep.
Johnson.
Kevin Johnson.
Says
Barkley.
Sabalos.
Yeah. I had a nice squad back then.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's why I went to my first concert,
Word.
Up in Smoke.
Up in
Up in
Smoke.
Smoke.
Dr. Dre and all that. Yep.
Okay.
When they came to the arena.
Wow,
We
man.
was up in the
up?
press box, and all you saw was smoke. That's all you saw, just a cloud of smoke in the whole arena. And I was like, wow, this shit cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, but, you know, it was cool, man. It was nice.
So, would you still be in a, you know what I'm saying, like a Dayton homebody? Are you still coming back and forth when you in Arizona, or you kind of get a little brief from that?
Yeah, it was too expensive.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I think during the season I probably came home maybe once or twice. But my parents flew out there for a couple games. So, you know, at that point I got older.
Right.
So I didn't come home a lot, but, you know, always stayed on phone calls with the peeps.
So, of course, you are a homebody. So then you go play for Detroit Fury. Was that to be closer to home?
I got traded
Oh, okay.
to there.
So walk us through the trading process of like you being traded. So like, what
I just came home to visit. And then they called me and was like, hey, you just got traded. I was like, word? They was like, we about to send you a ticket to come back and get your stuff. And then your ticket go to Detroit. Okay. I mean, it wasn't. It's business. It was disappointing because I established a whole lot of friendship. But then it's a business. I mean, at that point in my life, I just got to the point where I just wanted to play ball, have fun while I can.
Yeah.
I knew at some point it was going to stop.
Right.
Then I had to get a regular job, and I got to do that. But at that point in time, I was just happy to play ball. You know, I'm glad y'all traded me. At least y'all, you know, felt that I was worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So we got.
I'd rather get traded instead of getting cut. So
And so
Yeah.
with the arena league though, you're getting paid enough where that is the only thing you do.
oh
You
yeah,
don't
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
work
yeah,
nowhere
yeah,
else.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Arena One, you was getting paid. I think the minimum was like $1,500 a game, something like that, or
Okay.
or like $1,000 with a $500 win bonus, stuff like that. So it was nice money.
Yeah.
And you living in an apartment for free. And it
wow.
already got cable. It's already furnished.
Yeah.
So it's almost like going to college on a scholarship, except
Right.
now you're getting paid for it. So, you know, because a lot of people did arena and that's all they did. made enough money for the next 6 months when it was off season.
Yeah.
And come back. So it was something else though.
Yeah.
So Detroit Fury, I mean, is this winning football there or
No, it was their first year. It was an expansion team. So they was just trying to find themselves and establish, a home base. It was cool because we played at the Palace.
Right.
So it's like, wow, this is where the Pistons play,
Yeah.
We went to Pistons games. So that was some of my motivation to keep playing because I was going places and seeing things that some people only wish they can see.
Were you there during the Malice from the Palace?
No.
Okay. I had to ask.
Right.
Nah.
So now something new. So you're kind of feeling kind of reinvigorated because you're part of something new building. Plus you're closer to home, so it's a good position for you.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd that season go?
It went pretty good. I ended up getting released like probably week 8 or 9. Because with them being the expansion team, they was bringing in people every week.
Yes,
Basically just trying to establish some kind of identity.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting released. Once again, it's like, all right. I mean, like Smith said, it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got released, another opportunity popped up.
Tennessee Valley
Vipers. Yeah, so it's just, at that point, I'm like, okay, I know I'm valuable because I wouldn't be getting picked up by teams as soon as I got released. So it was just.
Oh, so like it wasn't no lag in it at all. It was like.
Right, it was just maybe a month or 2. So when I got released, I'd come home, chill out. Oh, phone call. Mom, Dad, I'm going here now. So Tennessee Valley Vipers, Huntsville, Alabama.
How'd you like that, man?
It was nice.
There's some good food around there, huh?
Yeah, it was nice. I still keep in touch with a lot of friends, a lot of teammates from there. Different. It really wasn't different 'cause now I'm in the country.
Right.
I was in the country at Georgia Tech, basically. Down south, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So, met some great guys there. Made it all the way to the championship. So it's like I wasn't going places where we just sucked. I always went to a winning program or, and great ownership, everything.
But like this is the AF2 league, so that's still comparable to the.
It's still comparable to AFL 1, just not pay wise.
Okay, so
Now
it was
you
step
go
down
from
in pay?
so you going from 1,000, 1,500, whatever, to 500 with a $200 win bonus, stuff like that. But housing still paid for it.
Right.
So just making less money, so I did that, get a little side gig. It's something to do. I mean, it's just basically at that point in my life, it was just I was still living the dream.
Right.
I'm still getting paid to do something that I love. So it wasn't no worries of anything. I'm still having fun, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still living the dream.
To me, like that's dope because you know what I'm saying. Because like how we had Daquan Cook on here and we talked about you know what I'm saying like him when you know what I'm saying his basketball career took a turn and he ended up going overseas to play. The fact that he just stayed invigorated to keep playing and keep playing and keep playing, to me, I found that legendary. So, like your story, to me is already there. So, after y'all win, well, like you have a successful season, how you end up on the Cincinnati Swarm?
Just a team closer to home.
Right.
And
so, did you make this decision on your own this
yeah,
time?
I made it on my own.
Okay, so finally it's like, man,
Yeah.
I'm not going to let y'all keep pushing me around, having me in limbo.
I made it on my own to get closer to home, and then I ended up linking up with one of my good friends, James Scott, with the Cardinal White.
Yeah.
So we ended up going there together, which was a blessing in disguise, because I'm home now.
Right.
So now my people don't have to go far to see me play, even though they travel wherever I was. Now I can have all my family come, so that was a blessing as well, because I think at that point in time, my dad started to get ill. So I was closer to home. You know what I'm saying? So I love Cincinnati. I wish they would have stayed around.
Right.
Because that was a good opportunity for me.
So then you played there. How did y'all season go?
We did good. For expansion team.
Yeah.
we did all right. They ended up folding though after 1 year. I think probably because of mismanagement. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how I ended up in Louisville. Just traveling, just a journey.
On the Louisville Fire, right?
Yeah.
So this is where I first saw your actual baseball card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the family was proud of you because I saw one of your posts where like one of your family members said that like you gave them a card. And it was like, I still got the card. I still got the card.
Yeah.
So like how'd that feel to go through your whole stint in college and high school, all the way to NFL aspirations to arena football, how your family still like, I'm so proud of you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still got your baseball card.
It's a great feeling, you know what I'm saying? My family, very supportive, even to this day with my kids.
Right.
We travel deep, you know what I'm saying? And it's always been like that. And it was just that to have that team make a card was like, wow.
Right.
Almost like, Mama, I made it, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And, I mean, I still got cards somewhere at my mama's house,
Yeah.
because they gave me like 5,000 of them. So I probably got maybe like 100 left.
Right.
But that was like a blessing. It was just like, hey, boom. Ain't too many people can say that. I don't care what level it is.
And listen, I'm saying if you find one, can you please give it to us? And we will honor you on one of these walls in here, King.
That's fine.
We will.
You got to ask mine dudes. I don't know which one.
And shout out to Mama Love, man. So, so in 2004, it's like after your football career, you know what I'm saying? Like you start to work in the juvenile detention system.
Correct.
At the time I saw you was a youth specialist supervisor.
Right.
What exactly is a youth?
Just basically, providing safety for the kids, looking over for your coworkers, and just providing great leadership for everybody. It's a cool job. I mean, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be there to this day.
Right.
I work third shift now. I got to go to work tonight.
Oh, word.
It's just I love giving back to the youth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I done had football camps in the past. We was raised on the Keith Byers Bayless camp. They gave back to the youth.
Byers.
So it was almost like it was instilled in us
legendary.
as youth by them giving back. And so I did the same.
Right.
And now I'm still doing the same. I still see kids run up to me in the street. Hey, what's up, Big Shep? I'm like, dude, I don't even remember your name.
Right.
How old are you now, bro? Man, I'm 25. I'm like, whoo. I've been working down there for that long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I love the job, man. I mean, sometimes I guess I thrive while trying to make a difference. If I could make a slight difference, I done did something.
Right. So would you say that this is where you got your first coach itch from, where like you working with the kids? Is that kind of like got the wheels turning, or at this point you've already started to coach a little?
Well, I've been coaching prior to that.
Okay.
Well, around the same time, because when I
Right.
came back home and started working, I ended up coaching Pee Wee.
Pee-wee.
I started coaching with Anthony Parker. So that was just something to do because my cousin played on this team with his son. So once I started coaching Pee Wee, I'm like, okay, I had my son.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna coach till he's old enough to play.
Right.
And I just been coaching every year, pretty much. It's just something. I ain't gonna say it's something to do, but it's just trying to get back knowledge that was given to you.
Right.
My thing is now a lot of these kids today, they lack structure, and sometimes they look at the wrong people as role models. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that I'm just a great role model, but if you can make a difference in anybody's life, that's just being a role model by itself.
Right.
Even if you just see a kid
you kind of are a great role.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I got it. What you get this butterfly effect? I got it.
If you could just
He cool, but I got it.
y'all silly, man. I mean, that's just how I am. If I could prevent this kid from making the right turn and make him make a left,
Right.
and later on find out that if he would have made that right, he would have got caught up.
Right.
I done did my job.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just life. I mean, I had people that did the same thing for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I wasn't, involved in anything. I had people that, nah, you ain't going there. No, we going here. Okay, bet. So it's just all about just looking out and giving back, pretty much.
So during your tenure there, which is vast, like I said, he started in 2004. I graduated in 2004. So that's literally like a very nice amount of time. I'm not going to say a long time, right?
Yeah.
So what is one story that you find that was like inspiring to you to you know what I'm saying, like one of the children that was there at the detention center?
I was working at a group home as a side job, pilot program that was ran by Parker. And I pulled up in I don't know the street name, it's beside AMPM and where the group home was at. And seen a kid, I was like, what's up, bro? We pulled up. And he was like, what's up, Big Shep? What's going on? I was like, how you doing? He was like, I'm good, I'm doing me being ignorant. I said, let me hold something. Just being stupid. He reached in his pocket, gave me $100. Why not, bro? You cool? Mm-hmm. He's like, nah, you looked out for me when I was locked up. I'm like, what did I do? Remember you gave me that king size Snickers? I'm like, so that king size Snickers is worth $100? But the reason I gave him that Snickers because we talked. Mm-hmm. I gave him, some motivation and structure, and I don't know what he was doing at that point in his life.
Right.
But he was like, nah, you gave me some good advice. Mm-hmm. He was like, you ain't got to give it back. So I'm looking around like, put that in my pocket. Mm-hmm. Took off. And it's like, why did he do that? You know what I'm saying? And like one thing that I feel that was an advantage for me when I was, my early career working at Juvenile, I was first chef. Mm-hmm. So I used to have a Bluetooth stick on my phone, whatever. And I would talk to my son if he would call and need something, and would talk to my kids in general. Right. And they would hear the way that I talk to them, but I would talk to the juveniles the same way.
The same exact way.
So sometimes it's like playing mind games. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, he talking to his own kids like that?
Yeah.
And he love his kids, so he must love us.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that helped me out in my early career with working there. They just figured that I was just treating them like I treat my kids.
Right.
And, even to this day, I tell the youth that come in there, like, y'all not bad, y'all just lack structure.
Right.
Y'all have a problem with following rules, but if you go into a structured environment that is that set of rules every day that you had to abide by, you learn it. Mm-hmm. I used to tell the kids, I had them trained like dogs. Man, F that, Shep, you ain't no dang old dog, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. After breakfast, what do? I asked to throw my stuff away and I show you my fork. Okay. What do you do after that? I stack my chair and step in my room. Okay. What you do after that? Well, I'll wait for you to call us out. Okay, I got you trained like a dog. Mm. But it's structure.
Right.
And they don't know that they was getting taught a lesson until after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So, with these kids today, you just have to find a way to really get to them in their own way where they can, comprehend and understand the whole situation.
I came down to Juvenile. You remember that, Shep?
Yeah.
I came down and talked to the kids down there one time. And, man, like being down there and seeing those kids that was locked up, man, that was really shocking for me, bro. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like I was like, damn, I felt for them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know that they all got stories. Yeah. But I know that when I was talking, I just was kind of feeling the temperature of the room, you know what I'm saying, to see if they was really interested in what I was talking about or if they really didn't give a fuck, But it really seemed to me like they was vibing, like, bro, they if they had an opportunity, which they do, but just sometimes you don't know good shit exists, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be so inundated with just bad shit all around you, bad examples, bad environment. It gets re-socialized to you in school and every which way you look.
Right.
You really don't understand it. Shit, hold on, Smed, he got a story. His nigga, he like to rap. Like, if he can do that, and I'm right here with this, bro, I could probably do something like that too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think maybe Shep is kind of just bringing that to him by talking to his son like that. Mm-hmm. They just understanding that one day they can be a father and they can talk to their son like that. They can actually be a part of a loving situation, man. Mm-hmm. And love ain't corny and all of that shit. Sometimes, man, we be thinking intelligence is lame, corny, and it's soft. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of like end up feeling like that. So, I mean, that's just my take on you working down there. Mm-hmm. Is really an admirable thing, bro. And you being able to change the kids' lives and shit, like, that's major.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, in 2010, you know what I'm saying, the Dayton Silverbacks.
Yeah.
So walk us through that inception.
I mean, to be honest, at that point, it just became a habit of either playing or coaching. Mm-hmm. Any time that I have an opportunity to do something that I love, I would jump at it.
Yeah.
You know, if it panned out to be good, then thank you God. If it don't, on to the next venture. Right. I mean, one thing I've always done, I always kept my job. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I work here. So I'm going to do this as a side hustle. If it works, I'm going to keep doing it. Right. But I never stopped working. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at that point, it just became something to do pretty much.
Right. So I want to pause it to just a little bit of controversy. So like, let me send a legendary handshake to Deion Cash. Have you seen that post he tagged you in?
Yeah.
So basically, if you read a post for the people who hasn't seen it, Deion Cash like reports on Dayton public schools and things of that nature. There's been some type of paperwork war where they're saying you have to have this clearance to interview coaches. How do you feel about that?
I agree to disagree. Right now, the DPS, to me, sports and everything, is really at a downfall per se, and they trying their best to bring it back to where it was. It's hard to really comment on it per se, because a lot of it I just don't be involved in it no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny. It's just I'm one of the ones where you came from a legacy when everything was all peaches and cream, and to see stuff just crumble, it's like very disappointing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think like now, I think they trying to turn things into the positive way. You know, I don't know all the ups and downs about that situation, because I even inbox people like, hey, what was this about? You know, sometimes I'm a lurker on Facebook. I'm like, ooh, he just started some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me scroll through the comments so I can catch up. Like, man, that was a day ago. I missed it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, Dayton Public should be on the level with all these other schools, but we're not. We tend to have a bad rep because of things that have happened in the past that probably shouldn't have happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just that situation is hard to really speak on if I wasn't really involved.
Right.
You know, I know from my understanding, I heard it's always been like that. But people want to argue how come, you know, we don't get the publicity, the publicity of the Waynes and all that. But you see why.
Right.
You know,
You can't even interview the kids, man. What kind of
you know, you go to these schools.
I'm going to interview.
I mean, they at least interviewing the coaches and the coaches standing here with the kid.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You just ain't going up to a kid and just asking them for stuff, which you don't see that happening too much at these other schools. But you'll see them go up and ask the coach, and the coach will do all the talking. I mean, if you want your
interview the kids.
if you want all that to happen, you gotta let people do what they gotta do.
Right.
To put your schools and your kids and your coaches out there.
Right. So I see dualities in there, right? So I see the negative and the positive just like you do. Like, for instance, I mean, like, me as a parent, I don't want you shoving no camera in my son's face asking him about stuff or whatever. Because I mean, like, you don't know the intent behind that, because like, kids don't have the world perspective that we hope that we all have, right?
Yeah.
So on one end, I see that, but also, you know what I'm saying, like Darwin's theory is if you don't evolve, then you die, right? We have a social media influence now. So you have kids who have their own platforms, such as like LeBron and Bronny or whatever.
Yeah.
He can do his own interview and speak on it or whatever. So to me, I see there has to be a middle ground that we can meet on somewhere.
It has to be a middle ground, but I think where a lot of parents are being upset is just an example. At every game that my son played, he's interviewed by somebody.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know if the rules are different, but he's interviewed by, whether it's 24/7 Sports, it might be a reporter from Cincinnati, it might be the Buckeye.com dude.
Yeah.
He's interviewed by somebody.
Shep, I mean, I think that we kind of like in a time crunch right here, but I don't want to. I want to ask you about Lil Shep.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna start rapping to the end because he got to go.
Yeah.
All right, but bro, Lil Shep going to UC.
Yes, sir.
Take me through it, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a major decision to go
Yeah,
there.
he
and
made
UC is looking like some
real
real
good
dogs
right
right
now.
now. So he
Yeah.
a great decision, by the way.
Yeah, he it's a blessing. You know, he put in some work.
Yeah,
Now he got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
You know, being a dad and knowing where he want to go, you know all the the crooks and crannies of what he needs to do.
Yes.
It's
Do
like I
you
said.
think that had your father played collegiate sports?
No.
So some of the experiences that Lil Shep is going to draw on from what your dad did for you, sharpening you, getting you to be at his discipline, and he got you to a certain point where you was able to make it through college and then get professional tryouts, get
Right.
with teams. Even though you got released, you still was there. You was right there on the precipice.
Right.
Think you? But do you hope Lil Shep makes it to the league, or is it just all about getting the education and that's good enough? Or
Of course,
how do you
a parent would
balance that?
love to have their kids make it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But what I tell him is not only live for the moment, but accept it as a blessing. I can't reframe, I can't repeat that enough.
Yeah,
I mean, because it could be here today and gone tomorrow.
right.
So, and then I tell him it's one step at a time. First step was to get to high school and play good, get, notarized, get some popularity, get there, get your name out there. Next goal was to get a scholarship.
Yeah,
I checked it off that list. That saves money for the family.
yeah,
Now it's going to be all on him. So from here on out, once he leaves, high school, it's really on how much work he's going to put, work and effort that he's going to put in, and how hard, how much do he want it.
Are you satisfied with his work ethic?
Nope. Because, I look at it like, one thing he did as a little kid, he wrote a letter that said his main goal is to be better than his dad. And I wish I could find the letter because it's, kids writing stuff in the 4th grade, 3rd
Yes.
grade, look like Scribble Scrabble.
Yeah.
But when he wrote that, my thing was, okay, well, I'm going to push him now.
Yeah,
I'm his worst critic.
yeah,
I spoil him to death. I'm going to say that now, all on and live.
yeah.
I spoil my kids to death. But the same aspect, they great kids. And when he said that, it's like, okay, well, I'm never going to tell you you had a good game. Because I'm the one, you might have 10 tackles, but I'm the one that I'm going to harp on the 3 that you missed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's how I am. I don't give my kids, my stepdaughter, now I give her credit because she just started playing sports. But with my other daughter and my son, I don't tell them good job until after the season is over.
All right, but let me ask you this: does he have it in him to be great to you?
Yeah, he has it. He just got to pick at it to let it, get that dog out.
Yeah,
He's almost like how I was. You the big dude. It's easy for you.
Right.
But then when you face a challenge, you really got to dig deep. The bite. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And he's been pushed but hasn't been pushed.
Right.
Or he always felt like he was one of the ones where he could cut it on, flip the switch, and cut it off anytime he wanted to.
Right.
And, the college coach now, his position coach told him, ain't no flipping on and off. Once you flip it on,
you on?
you leave that mug on until you go to class. you know what I'm
It's
saying?
stuck. It's nothing.
So,
Randy G said he got to be Ted.
What does that mean?
anyways, he just gotta, he gotta learn to keep it on.
Yeah,
And once he do that, it's gonna be an ugly sight.
yeah,
And I'm the point where, dog, if I seen you do it once, I'm gonna expect it every time.
every time.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
man, I've been
So,
knowing Lil Shep since he was playing at Princeton.
Yeah.
I have always begged you to let Lil Shep come and play on one of my teams or something. So if anybody believes in him, it's definitely me, bro. And I just from, outside of being his father, I just thought that he was always advanced, man. And for his size, he's really balanced and nimble and got. I just see him as somebody that can do whatever, man. I'm not surprised by any of the stuff. I mean, I've seen it all coming.
You seen it all from Yay High.
I seen it all from when he was in the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, kind of for real though,
Yeah,
right, bro?
He
Like,
seen him.
At every
kid.
time, I just thought that he was major.
And please tell him about the story of P.J. Washington, please. Have you heard the story of P.J. Washington? P.J. Washington is a basketball player. He played for UK, you know what I'm saying, University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
There were women coming to the like it was older women coming to the basketball game, like pursuing him. He ended up getting his first NBA contract. He get her pregnant. She get a divorce right afterwards.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
bang.
yeah.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah.
Please tell
We
the story of P.J. Washington, and that's from Uncle.
I mean,
Dad's
I just seen it, and I just seen the memes.
Man,
from it.
she got to pay her like $100,000 a year, a month or something,
Man,
something
listen.
crazy, right?
Man.
Man, do your butterfly effect. So Chef
Oh,
can get
okay,
up
yeah.
too.
So here at the Legendary People Podcast, we have a thing called the butterfly effect, where it's either something I found interesting or something truly remarkable during the research or something you said during the interview. You said on December 30th, 2011, you're like, man, I don't remember that. But
Damn.
what you said was, you said attitude reflects leadership.
Leadership. Yeah.
Be a leader and be strong, and people will follow. You have done nothing but that ever since you played on every single facet of every team you played in. It was like you were just happy to be there, happy to play. Then you go off into to football, and then to see things that to the average person that's sitting on the sideline saying, yeah, you know what I'm saying, he could have did this, he could have did that. You say today, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. To go from there to working with kids who are at the lowest part of the judicial system. You know what I mean? To be helping those, and then for them to see value in you later, and then for you to be helping your kids. I mean, Lil Shep is literally the butterfly effect that you wanted to create, man. Without that, I mean, you are a legend, man. Like, you don't have this at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, man, like, your story is truly remarkable because you get a chance to show somebody that grew up in the same city as us. Saying, nah, man, I ain't seen none of my friends in that. They went in that. It was all about, I would stay course. I followed my dad's instruction, and that got me to where I am today. You are an example of that. You can come up in this city, and you don't have to have no sad story. Ain't no sob story.
Right.
You ain't taking time for no sob story.
Right.
You gonna motivate your son. Your son gonna motivate. You are the butterfly effect, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and you're
it.
building your
Appreciate
legacy
it.
too, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Legendary,
man.
bro.
Legacy, bro. Legacy. The Shepard legacy.
Yeah.
The Shepard legacy, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From your pops to you, now to your son, and then it'll be your grandson and your grandson's son. And that's exactly why we make the Legendary People podcast for your grandson's son to see where they came from and hear the great stories about you, your great dad, you, and on down the line, man, to understand, catalog, and chronicle where they came from, right? And so, you guys, we gonna wrap this up. But before we do, man, I want everybody to go down to Agnes All Natural Grill.
Absolutely.
Man, they got the best food. They just now had their grand opening today. It's very major. We want you to go to Sheik's for breakfast. And if you are injured, you want to call Michael Wright at 222-7477.
Make the right choice.
Make the right choice all day. P, it's on you,
Oh,
King.
yes, your boy Dash Resource, a.k.a. Peanut. I'm here every Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. where I'm teaching people on sales stocks not dope, where I'm teaching people easy ways of making money in the market. My book, you can get it for free on Amazon. It's on either side of me right here on the green screen. And you're going to look like, I don't see no books by you. Every time I do that, they always do that. But seriously, though, you can check me out here at 8 o'clock p.m. On my page. And I'm pretty sure Smed always tag me and stuff like that. So